of all the people on this, I'm really looking forward to hearing a little bit of like overdriven tube preamp Dave Marcus onto 2-inch tape onto vinyl. You know what I mean?
What's up, guys? I am hideously overdressed, and today we're doing an artist spotlight on Dave Marcus. How's it going, man? Good to have you here.
Thank you.
All right.
Hideously underdressed.
So, could you please tell us a bit about where you're from, where you grew up, and how old were you when you first started playing music?
In a nutshell, I kind of moved around a lot until I was about 12, so I didn't have like one in particular home necessarily. I was moving constantly from place to place, and I'd say that I really got into music. Probably when I was around 10 years old, I started getting really interested in the guitar. My dad's a big influence to me. He was always a musician. He played drums in a band in the 70s, and he played guitar later on in his life and wrote songs, and he worked all over the place and did all sorts of crazy things. And my uncles, actually, before him, were famous songwriters, so I've always kind of been inspired by people around me. I remember asking for a guitar one day, and I got it, and I apparently didn't love it at first, and it took me a few years to get into the idea of it, but by the time I was like 13, I was obsessed.
Yeah.
I want to say really early on, like my second grade music teacher was a real inspiration. I remember little things like he always had a table full of different musical instruments like that every day. He would go in, and I remember my friends actually told me I used to run to the class to get there first, so every day I could pick up something different and try out something different. And I was getting musical achievement awards, and then he used to spotlight me for things and stuff like that, and I realized his teaching lessons and his stories he used to tell and the way music was so fun to him, it really inspired me in the long run to express myself. I've always been into jazz and prog and classic rock, but as you know, I started getting into hard rock and 90s music and metal and punk and pretty much everything. Like, I don't really like to restrict what I listen to. You know, if something stands out to me and I enjoy it, I like to take in what I can get from it in any way.
There's this wrecking ball that's coming down.
I think every time I've been involved in something, at that moment it was probably what was the most important thing to me. So I'm pretty fond of everything I've done. I try to draw inspiration from absolutely everything. From happiness, from pain, from uncertainties, from everything. I really do. To me, it like gives me a freedom where maybe I'd be afraid to say something, or where if you said something in a conversation, someone might go, oh, I can't believe you said that. But if I put it into poetry, if I put it into lyrics, if I express it in a song, you know, people accept it because it's a freedom of expression. So it's...
Yeah, something about it just takes the edge off. It must be the major key thing sometimes. You know?
Major key thing, right? Most of the time I sit down, I write myself a riff, or, you know, I start coming up with melodies. But it can really go either way. Sometimes it's just the inspiration of what you're feeling and what you want to get out of you. Like, usually it's music, but sometimes the lyrics are really important to come first.
Dave and I met in 2007. I was in a band called One Word Song, and Dave auditioned to be our guitarist. When he joined, we suddenly had 4 really exceptional musicians, and that coincided with what was easily our biggest year.
Back in the day, you know, selling out Maxwell's on Wednesday nights and stuff.
Yes.
You know, little really fun moments that we got to share, you know. It's very good stuff.
Unfortunately, that lineup dissolved, but out of the ashes of that, Dave and I got to really know each other. We traded a lot of musical influences, and it started a long run of shared musical endeavors. He wrote the music for my first solo release in 2009, called Song Number 28. I invited Dave to join Pyroclast in 2010, and for a few months, he was our lead singer.
Dave. Dave's really something else. Hell of a singer, hell of a voice, hell of a character, hell of a guitar player. He's always doing something, and that's awesome.
Dave is one of the best singers I've ever had the privilege to play with. Unfortunately, it wasn't as long as I would have liked it to have been, and man, the guy can play guitar, and he's a pretty good drummer too, you know, and really nice guy, and he's got a great soul.
He's got that, you know, that golden tone that you could spend a lifetime trying to get, and it just comes so natural to him.
He attracted a lot of other local musicians to our gigs, and one of them was Rob Ferreira.
Dave Marcus, man, I met him years ago. He was playing in a band called Mindslide, and I think Down Shallow actually shared a bill with them, and he was like up there singing, and his hair is flowing all over the place, and I was like, this dude's cool, had a killer voice, and I was like, I'd like to work with that guy one day.
I knew that Dave had done a cameo on your guys' album on Black and Blue,
Right.
and then I don't remember who came first, if it was me or him, but I seem to recall like we all kind of, like he and I jumped into Dead Fish Handshake that summer.
I remember us going up to Rhode Island and doing those shows with DFH and like, you know, taking those pictures in the bathtub and like all, you know, just funny stuff.
But he's more than that, man. He's a great guitar player, man, and good songwriter too, bro.
I've never actually met Dave, but I've heard his music, and I interact with him a little bit on social media, just following things that he's doing, and I'm really looking forward to meeting him because he's super talented. That voice alone, wow.
Since 2009, Dave and I have been recording and mixing his solo material, which we're both very fond of.
It was probably, to me, still the most special thing I've ever done, just because it was me opening up myself like in a way that I never thought I could or would, and I think that's what's, you know, shot me in the direction I'm going today.
And when she's sick, could I be her medicine?
Songs Without Meaning has so many layers, and it runs the gamut of emotions. I think those recordings are probably the best example of what Dave's capable of as an artist and what I'm capable of as a producer.
I had a mutual respect for your overall ability to hear things, and, you know, like if it was a structured piece, if you're like, oh, this needs one more thing, you know, you'd say it to me, but you didn't tell me what to do. So it was easy for me to say, oh, here, I'm going to add this to this.
What are your contributions to this project, musical or otherwise?
I wrote lyrics and helped arrange a little bit of a song called Just a Note.
I'm not so sure.
Which I believe Rob Ferreira mainly wrote. Me and you helped arrange it, I think, in the room.
And then we made sure that it had our stamp on it.
Signature stamp on it, absolutely. But yeah, I also played guitar on that song. I played, I believe, most of the leads, right? Yes.
On that one, yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And then I played on Tony's song.
My star shines bright, dividing night sky.
We came up with some stuff on the spot. We threw him in some positions and kept, you know, we changed him from shortstop to third base to the outfield to catching to pitching, and he just took it all in stride. He's a true pro.
I started on, I think, electric guitar, then I was on bass, then I was on acoustic guitar. After a lot of frustration, we set up the Leslie cabinet, which was an amazing experience to get to play guitar through an actual Leslie cabinet. It was just like a dream come true.
Is this your first vinyl record?
Yes, absolutely. This is the first thing I will have ever recorded on vinyl, and I'm ecstatic about it. The most exciting part was like reconnecting, like knowing that like me and you had done projects, and me and Rob and you had done projects before, and like working with Max before, and just all of us getting back to like where we're all good, and music is the main purpose of what we're all doing, and the happiness that between us all, and you know what connects us and everything. That's been the most exciting part for me.
What upcoming gigs or music of yours do you want to plug?
I'll always just plug my solo project, davemarcus.bandcamp.com. You can check out my EP there, and I'm going to be working on a new one soon, possibly a full length. And my band Audio Empire at audioempire.band.com.
Audio Empire is an awesome, awesome band. They will take your face off live. If you're into loud, really in-your-face, hard rockin' tunes, go check them out. The artist is Dave Marcus. The album is Johnny Rock and Friends for the Record. Rock on, we will see you soon.